Welcome to another video teaching. My name is Stef. I'm a psychic soul alignment coach. What I do is I work with spiritual entrepreneurs to help them to achieve soul alignment through deeper levels of healing in order for them to be able to reach their highest level of success, impact, influence, income. So that is how I help people. Now, every Wednesday I come onto my Facebook community to do a free teaching, and this video is one of those free teachings. So if you're watching on YouTube and you want to join my community, check out the links in the description of this video to follow me on social media and to request to join my group. Okay, so this video today is titled The Importance of Having a High-Level Mindset to Create Your Impact. Okay, so again, because I am a coach that works with spiritual entrepreneurs, a lot of my content is geared towards entrepreneurship and that kind of stuff. However, you can always take the information that I give you and apply it to whatever other normal life circumstances you're addressing in your life. Okay, so relationships, health, well-being, jobs, that kind of stuff. This applies to all of this as well. You just have to adapt the information as it works for you. Okay, so to get started, the importance of having a high-level mindset to create your impact is because your mindset reflects your beliefs. Your beliefs reflect your thoughts then reflect your emotions then reflect your behaviors, the actions that you take. So these kinds of things kind of build off of one another because your mindset is made up of all of the beliefs that you have, whether they're in your favor or they're not in your favor, but it's all of your beliefs. And so when you have these beliefs will naturally transfer into thought patterns that you have, into certain things that you think, a lot of times unconsciously, a lot of times, you're not aware of it. As you do things, as you have certain experiences, these are your thoughts. And when you have these thoughts, they are very much going to trigger emotions. Or sometimes it's the other way around. Sometimes you can feel something first, have a certain negative reaction to it emotionally, and then have these thoughts that just spill into your mind, your thoughts, right? Your mind. So when you have these negative thoughts and these negative emotions or these low vibrational emotions, that then transfers into your behaviors, into your actions in the world, into how you show up, okay? And this is how reality is created. Because what happens is that the behaviors that you have in the physical world, the action steps that you take in the physical world help you to create in this physical world. That's how you manifest, okay? Because when we manifest, we're wanting to bring about in the physical world things that we desire, right? So we have to take certain action steps to bring about those physical manifestations that we want. Now, steps that I'm talking about today in regards to making your impact can be in regards to action steps that you take to be more visible with your work, actions that you take to create things related to your business that will benefit other people. Action steps that will allow for you to then, take that action step to show up and ask for a certain opportunity or to offer a certain service to someone, right? These are physical action steps that we need to take to bring about manifestations because one aspect of manifesting is taking actions in the physical. This is how you ground into this physical reality more and more of what you're wanting to create or manifest, okay? You have to move certain things, energy in the physical world to bring about certain things. So for example, to build a house, you literally have to get up and pick up a block or a thing, and put one block down at a time in order to construct this house, right? And this one block at a time is that one action step at a time that ultimately leads to the physical manifestation of the house. So when you're wanting to create an impact, you have to take certain physical action steps one at a time, asking for opportunities, creating offers and putting them out there, marketing yourself, letting people know what you have to offer, talking about your work, working with people, etc. You have to take these certain action steps to bring about your big dream of the impact that you're trying to create, that house, okay? So this is why physical action steps or physical action or your behaviors in the physical world are super important and connected to you being able to create your impact, you being able to manifest your impact or manifest resources that will help you to bring about this impact and create anything and everything that you want in your personal life as well as your business. Now, the reason that a lot of people fail to make their impact is because a lot of times they're not taking the level of action required to bring that about. So for example, you can be a psychic. You can be very much in tune with spirit and, talk to these beings, see them, get these messages. It can all be nice and beautiful. However, if you have this dream of helping people, making an impact in this way via your psychic abilities, and you're not actually out there taking action to work with people, you're not actually promoting your work and your services and how much you charge and all these other things, you're not actually putting out testimonials of work that you have done with other people and how you've helped them, you're not going to really be able to bring about your impact because nobody knows about you, right? You're remaining hidden, you're remaining unseen. And so you have to take these action steps in order for it to work out, in order for you to be seen. Otherwise, it just doesn't work, right? And this is with any kind of business. Even if you have some kind of marketing agency, it's maybe nothing spiritual. However, if you're really brilliant at marketing, you have all these amazing ideas, you have an ability to design things maybe as part of your marketing work, and you're so good at marketing, you know all the ins and outs, you've learned all this information, you're really passionate about it. But if you're not out there taking action steps and promoting your marketing services and sharing your amazing graphics and working with people and sharing your testimonials and so on and letting people know how amazing your work is, the results that you can get people, or the results that you have the potential to get people, because a lot of times people hold themselves back thinking, oh, but I haven't worked with anyone yet, so I don't know if I can get people results. No, you talk about the potential results you can get people. If you're not out there taking these action steps, then how can you even begin to attract the clients that you have the potential to support and create your impact that way by helping them impact their businesses, right? Grow their businesses, right? So this is why it's really important to take physical action steps to create our impact, to bring it about, to manifest this impact and the things connected to that impact, be it money, be it opportunities, clients, whatever it is. But you need to take certain physical action steps in order for this to happen. Now, a lot of times people don't take physical action steps because of a lot of conscious and unconscious beliefs that they have. These are negative beliefs, limiting beliefs that they have consciously or unconsciously. And it's these limiting beliefs that then cause fears and cause them to hold back from taking this action, right? So going back to the example that I gave with being psychic, right? You might be really good as a psychic. You might be able to receive all these, these hits from universe, spirit, talk to spirit, whatever it is. However, if you're afraid of people not believing you as a psychic, ridiculing you as a psychic, telling you it's not real work, and all of these judgments, these fears, these things come up for you, then again, remember these beliefs, your mindset, transfers into these thoughts. You're going to be thinking things, oh, maybe I'm not good enough. Maybe people are not going to believe me. Maybe they're going to make fun of me. Maybe this is going to happen. All these thoughts, which then lead to emotions. It's all that panic, that anxiety, that fear, that worry, that concern, which then leads to you and your behaviors and how you choose to take action or not take action, right? And so then that's when you hold back from letting people know that you're psychic and you're able to help them. That's when you hold back from talking about your work and how it can impact people's lives. That's when you don't share your work because you're afraid of how people are going to perceive you and all this other stuff, or losing friendships and that kind of thing, right? So that's when you don't take the actions, right? Or instead of doing the psychic work, you do something else that is easier, which completely takes you off your path, right? Because I was speaking to someone yesterday, and the thing is that as a psychic, I give information that's truly for the highest good of the people at that time, what they're ready to receive at that time. And so what happens is that sometimes when I give people too much information, it could cause them to deviate from their path if they're not ready to receive it, right? Because if I give a person this information around what they're here to do in regards to their soul's purpose, how important it is, who they're really meant to influence and why and how and all the details, and maybe they're not ready to receive this yet, what happens is then that automatically triggers a lot of limiting beliefs that they have, right? That stuff around, being great and being able to help people and all this other stuff. It triggers all these thoughts, it triggers all these emotions, and then it triggers these behaviors, and it causes people to be in resistance to stepping into their soul's purpose, and then they don't take action steps in the direction of their soul's purpose, or instead, because they have all these limiting beliefs and stuff, something in their limiting beliefs will trigger these thoughts that make them think, oh, maybe, I need to be doing something else instead and moving in another direction. And, then they go off in a different direction, and then they don't get to move down the path of their soul's purpose much more quickly and directly because they weren't ready for this information. Does that make sense? So I, as a psychic, have to be very mindful of the information I'm sharing with people, to make sure that it's truly in their highest good to receive it, because I don't want to give them any information that they're not quite yet ready for, and then it sends them down this rabbit hole of, going around and going in a different direction than what they're actually supposed to be doing, because I want people to actually be taking the physical action steps that will allow them to gradually progress in the direction of what they want. Because again, when we take these action steps, that's how we ground it here in the physical. That's how we start bringing it about. That's how we start moving ourselves in that direction. However, when people receive information before they're ready, quite oftentimes it triggers all these other things, which then makes them take a U-turn and go in another direction. And I see this all the time as a psychic. I will give people information that they are ready to receive. However, when they have so many limiting beliefs and fears around what I've given them, and they allow it to overpower them, what happens is that these people then go down this rabbit hole of thinking, well, maybe I'm not ready, maybe stuff wasn't right, maybe this, maybe that, maybe I should be doing this instead. They start thinking these things, they start feeling doubt and worry around maybe what I said, maybe what they're doing. I don't know. They just go into this emotional kind of roller coaster of a situation, and then this reflects in their actions, and then they deviate from their path. They do things that they're not really supposed to be doing for their highest good. They're still going to get to where they're going to get to in the end. So even if you make mistakes, it's all good, because you're eventually going to be redirected. That's been my experience. So you'll eventually get to where you're needing to get to. However, you're going to take all these detours, and that is because when you don't address the limiting beliefs and fears at the root, at the core, then it causes all of this kind of ripple effect to happen and keeps you off of the path that will allow for you to bring about your impact and the manifestations connected to it. Does this make sense? Hey, Jackie, how are you? Thank you for joining me. So this is why it's really important for you to really address your conscious and unconscious limiting beliefs and fears first, to get to it at this mindset level, this belief level, so that you can then adjust those things accordingly, and then change the thoughts, change the emotions, and change the behaviors as a result, so you can actually allow yourself to move forward. When you don't change the beliefs, then you don't change the thoughts, and then you're going to constantly be triggered emotionally negatively, and that triggering that then instills that fear, that doubt, that worry, is going to cause you to not take action or to take the wrong actions, right? And that's not what we want. We want you to move forward as quickly as possible down the path of your highest good in just the, most direct kind of way. And so in order to do that, in order to move in the direction of your goal, which is your vision, your impact that you want, to help all these people, to make a big difference, that's your goal. But in order to get there as quickly as possible and directly, you need to clear the things that are kind of making you take all these detours and getting off the path and going here and there. You want to clear them one by one, and it starts with getting to these conscious and unconscious beliefs and clearing them one by one, so that you can have an easier time with your thought processes, so that you don't get triggered emotionally negatively. And as a result of getting triggered emotionally negatively, you then hold back, you resist, you decide to put your head under the sand and not go in that direction. You decide to go in other directions because going forward in the direction that you want is too uncomfortable or too scary. Like, that's not what we want. We want you to address the things so you allow yourself to move forward, okay? Because this is about you giving yourself permission to move forward in the direction of what you want. You can really create your impact. You can change people's lives. You can create the successful business, but you have to give yourself permission to do that. You have to choose you, and how you start choosing you is by being willing to address those deep limiting beliefs that you have that are then, causing this negative effect to happen. Because the process is, the way it is. It's the beliefs, the thoughts, the emotions, or emotions, thoughts, whatever comes first, and then behaviors and reactions and stuff. Like, that's the process. And right now, when you're not addressing those things consciously, the process unfolds in a way that doesn't allow for you to get to where you want to go to get what you want. However, you can use the same process and use it to your advantage. Change those beliefs so that you have better thoughts, so that you have better emotions, so that you feel confident and better and more willing to move in the direction of your desires. So there's nothing wrong with the process. It's about whether or not you're consciously choosing to use that process to your advantage or not. And so this is why if you want to create your impact, if you want to change the world, then you have to be a conscious creator of it. You have to assume personal responsibility over the beliefs that you're holding inside of yourself and choosing to shift them and go down accordingly this path for your benefit, okay? So this is why it's really important. Hey Judy, thank you so much for joining. I hope you get to catch the replay. I appreciate you for saying hi. So now that I've just covered that, okay, your mindset, taking physical action and stuff, that's just one part of the equation of making your impact, okay? The other half of the equation is your internal world, and this actually comes first and foremost, okay? But I had to describe the physical action step as it's important because, again, like I said, if you don't lay down those bricks, that's what the word was earlier. I couldn't remember the bricks. If you don't lay down the bricks of a house one by one, if you don't take that physical action step one by one to ground that into reality, you're not going to get the house. So if you don't take those physical action steps one by one, you're not going to bring about the physical manifestation of your impact. So physical action is super important, and how not taking physical action is very much connected to your mindset, okay? So let's dig deeper into mindset, because mindset is a reflection of your internal world, and this is the biggest component really to being able to create your impact, okay? When you have a very strong internal world, so this is reflected in your mindset and what you believe to be true about who you are, about how the world works for you. When you have a very strong internal world and you really feel like you are destined for success, like success is yours, like you are abundant and abundance is always going to flow to you, and your work is important and it matters and people are eager to receive it now and are eager to pay you now. When you have a really strong internal world, then that is reflected in your external reality through the action steps that you're taking. So when you have shifted those limiting beliefs and fears, and you really believe the opposite now, you really believe that you're amazing, that you're worthy, that your work makes a difference, that people love hearing about it, and all of these different things, when you change those things, then you change your thoughts. Then you start feeling good about yourself on a regular basis. You start thinking positively about yourself and what you're doing. And then these positive thoughts create these positive emotions, these positive feelings. You start feeling excited to move forward, to share what you have to share, to create what you're creating. You allow yourself then to take those action steps, to actually create the things, to actually talk to people, to reach out to people, to put out offers. You allow yourself to go down this path. Whereas when you don't have a strong internal world and you believe a lot of negative things, either consciously or unconsciously, then this makes you think a lot of things consciously or unconsciously. You start thinking, oh, you know what? What's the point? It's not going to make any difference. Nobody really sees me. Nobody really hears me. Nobody really pays attention to what I have to say or offer. You start feeling low. And when you feel low, you don't feel motivated to do anything, right? And just think about this. Like maybe in the past, when you were sick or when you had a relationship situation, right? When you're going through negatively charged emotional things in your life, you don't feel inspired to do anything. You don't take those action steps, right? So when you're not taking the action steps, you're not allowing yourself to build the energy of your manifestation, of your impact. So this is the thing, is that when you don't have this strong internal world, it leads up to these negative thoughts, these emotions, and a lack of action. Or maybe you take action, but it's just not in the right energy because you're just unmotivated and depressed and sad, and you just don't really see the point, right? And that's not going to help you to do it in that kind of energy. It's not going to allow for you to really bring about the results that you want, even though you're taking these actions. So this is it though. However, when you're having all these good beliefs, these good thoughts, these good emotions, you're excited, you're doing the things, you're showing up in the best possible energy. Now, a lot of times what happens is that people, even though they might be taking certain action steps in bringing about their impact in their manifestations, what happens is that sometimes even though they're taking action, they haven't fully embodied the level of mindset required for the actions to actually bring about results that they want. Okay? So if you feel like for some reason you're doing the things, you're actually laying down the bricks, you're putting your offers out there, you're letting people know what you can give them, how it's going to help them, you're creating offers, you're talking about your work, you're sharing past testimonials, you're doing the things, right? But for some reason, you feel like doing the things isn't really getting you the results, and you really can't understand why it's not working. Well, the reason that it's not working is because maybe on some level, you haven't really embodied the level of mindset for it to work. So maybe you have embodied certain mindset shifts necessary to allow yourself to take action, but have you really embodied the level of mindset that you need to actually believe in the success of those action steps that you're taking, to really believe that you're going to get those results? Do you really have that level of mindset where you have unwavering knowing or certainty that it's going to work and it's done and that's it? And you're excited about it, you're calm about it, you feel good about it? Do you really have that level of mindset? Because chances are is that if it's not giving you the results that you want, even though you're taking these action steps, then you're not really embodying the level of mindset required to actually manifest those results. Because what happens is that when you really embody that level of that high level mindset that you need to bring about the results, the success, then that is going to be reflected in your consciousness and in your energy. Okay. So when you really have that winner's mindset, that success mindset, that I'm a leader mindset and I'm here to succeed and it's all working out mindset, and I'm abundant, truly abundant mindset. When you have that high level mindset required for those results, then your consciousness, okay, your level of existence and your energy really reflects that, okay? And your energy is what allows for you to manifest, because you are actually a match for those results. I've spoken in several videos how your energy reflects all of the realities that we are living in, okay? Because reality is basically just all energy. So when you really believe, okay, when you have embodied the level of consciousness and identity of who you truly are, of this next level version of yourself, and it's really flowing through your energy, okay, it's flowing through your energy, then you are a match for those results, and you get those results because they just have to exist. I did a video recently, so if you're watching on YouTube, check out the card up here. It should be up by now. And the video is titled How Transforming Who You Are is the Key to Making Your Impact and Creating 10K Months, okay? If you're in my Facebook community right now, you can access that video now by going to the tags in the group. They are at the top of the group feed, and just click on the tag and it'll take you there to see that video. But basically, when you truly believe, okay, that you are successful, you're abundant, you expect positive outcomes all the time because you're just this magical unicorn of a person and the universe is always working it out for you and is always supporting you and things just get to be this way. When you really are at that next level mindset, that level of consciousness, okay, beingness, when you really are vibrating that energy, it just has to come to you. It just has to flow. So if it's not flowing in spite of your actions, then that is a really key indicator to let you know that there is something there that you really need to take a closer look at. And it's not for you to feel bad about. It's just a kind of way for you to tweak any misalignments, any static or interruption in your energy signal, in your frequency, okay, that you need to adjust. It's the same way as when you have a television, and if you remember those old school televisions that had like those little antennas that you would plug in, those bunny rabbit antennas, and if you just move the antennas around a bit, you would get a clearer picture on the TV screen, right? So that's the thing, is that you're taking the action steps, but it's not yet showing up, then there's something in your mindset that you need to have a closer look at, okay? And so when you adjust that mindset, it's like you're adjusting the bunny ears, and when you get it just right, that is when you get the clearer image. That is when you're going to get the results from your efforts, okay? So that is where a lot of times people, get stuck all the time is that they think, but I'm doing the things. I'm allowing myself to move forward. I know that I'm worthy of my, the money that I'm asking for the service. I know that my work is really good and can help people change their lives. I know that I'm here to make a difference. Like, they know a lot of these things. However, have they really embodied that level of mindset necessary to really believe in their success, to really know that that is what's going to happen for them, to really know that, they're going to get the results. They truly know they're going to get the results. It's not a question of, am I going to get this result? Will this work out? Will people be interested? It's more of, I know this is going to happen. I know it's going to work out. I know this is what's needed. I know I'm going to get paid. That's the kind of energy that you want to bring forward. And a really great example of this that I want to share with you today, which is probably one of the reasons why they had me speak on this, is that this morning I shared how, I declared on my personal page on Facebook, my personal account, that I'm going to be back in the US by the end of 2021. Okay. Now, for those of you that know my story, if you know why I want to go back. For those of you that don't know my story, I'll tell you real quick. I was born in Peru. I was raised in the US. Long story short, my parents overstayed their immigration stuff. They got asked to leave. They didn't leave. They stayed illegally. And then, long story short, I had to pay basically for their decision to remain in the country when they were supposed to go. And then that resulted in me getting deported back to Peru at 20 years old and living outside of the US since then and living back here. Now, it's been my dream, my desire to go back to the US because it's part of my impact. Because I know I have a lot of people, the majority of the people that follow me are from the US, and I want to be there to do these events, to in-person events, to meet people in person, to go to events for myself. Like, there's so many things I want to do in the US, and that's why I want to go. Now, this has been a desire of mine for a really long time, but I wasn't really at the level of mindset that I needed to really bring that about over the last few years. I was more of this mindset, and I shared this in this post that I'm talking to you guys about, so I will link that in the description of YouTube for you to read it if it interests you. But basically, like, I wasn't at that level of mindset that I needed to be to really know, you know what, this is what it is. This is what's going to happen. This is who I am. I am that version of myself that will be in the US, that is going to make this happen. I was, wishy-washy. I was really not fully 100% believing it and owning it and knowing it to be true. I was just kind of doubting it and just hoping it would happen and questioning whether it would happen or when it would happen and all this other stuff. I wasn't really in alignment to manifest it. So this is the thing, is that when you have been taking these action steps to move forward with creating your impact, bringing about whatever thing you want, you really need to be at that level of mindset where you know your success is inevitable. And when you're at that level of mindset, truly, that's when those things really come about. So you really need to get honest with yourself and ask yourself if you're at that level of mindset, or whether or not you're still questioning, whether or not you're still doubting, whether or not you're still waiting for people to finally pay you or to sign up or for certain things to be in place first before you can believe that that will be true. Because if that's what you're doing, then you're not really at that level of mindset that you need to be to bring about those results. You have to know it in here first, like in here and in here first. You have to really own it, okay? On this mindset level, on this internal spiritual level, you have to really own it, believe it to be true for then it to manifest. This is the only way that it can really be brought about, okay? So that is where you need to really review yourself and get honest with yourself and just see what's really going on inside of you, okay? So a simple way to do this is simply whatever you're trying to bring about that you feel is connected to your impact, close your eyes, take some deep breaths, put your hands over your heart if you need to, and just ask yourself, do I really believe that I can succeed in doing this? Whatever that next step is for you, whatever that result that you're trying to get, do I really believe that I can do this? If not, then that's where you need to adjust. That's where you need to look at yourself more closely, okay? And to adjust those things, because seriously, that's the only way you're going to shift forward. It's okay if you don't really believe in yourself. It's okay if you doubt. I don't want you to feel bad. But what you need to do in order to move forward is you need to really recognize where that doubt is really coming from. So when you tune in and you ask yourself, okay, do I really believe I can succeed with this? And if the answer you feel is no, ask yourself, okay, why? Why don't I believe this? Okay? And then get into that. Say, your mind is like, well, because, right now the coronavirus and, people don't have money to spend, or right now the coronavirus and people are afraid of moving forward. People are this and that, whatever it is, right? Ask yourself what those excuses are for why you don't believe in yourself and start working through them. Start disproving them. Start recognizing that they're not true. They're only true because you believe them. So you think these things. This is energy. Thought energy is energy. You feel negatively. Emotions are energy. So more energy is being brought up to that. And then the action steps that you're taking or not taking are reflecting all of this negative energy. And all of this negative energy is going to result in you manifesting the negative outcomes, because reality is a reflection of our energy. So this is why it's really important for you to then get into those beliefs. If you have been taking the action steps and it's not working, it's okay. Why isn't it working? Dig deep inside of yourself. Shift those beliefs so that you can start thinking new thoughts. You can start feeling better. You can start taking more aligned action steps, or take your action steps from a more energetically aligned place, which will allow for you to build the energy for the manifestation to actually happen. Okay? So when you be it, you receive it. When you really are the level of yourself that has that success mindset, that is going to get the results, that knows without a shadow of a doubt it's happening in spite of whatever, when you really are this version of you on this mental level, on this emotional level because you're feeling it, on a spiritual level because you're connected to your spiritual beliefs and you believe in your success and you believe you're supported, on this mental level, did I just say that? I don't know, mentally, on this energetic level, on this physical level because you're taking the action steps, when you really are reflecting this version of yourself on all the levels, then you will receive it. A lot of times, like I said, when people are taking the actions, they're not receiving the results that they want. So they're taking actions, that's the physical, cool. They have certain beliefs, cool, that allow them to take that action. They have certain emotions, positive emotions, cool. They have certain spiritual beliefs that help them to believe that it's possible for them to have their success, cool. They're to a certain extent energetically aligned, cool, but they're still not receiving the results. Then they really need to look at themselves. And, if this is you, you really need to look at yourself and be like, okay, do I really believe it though? Do I truly believe it, or am I still doubting in some way? Am I still questioning? Because then there's probably deeper beliefs you have to look into to really get yourself at that level where you're like solid in your knowing that this is going to happen, and then you get to bring it about. Okay? So this is what I was asked to bring forward today for you guys. I really hope that this has helped you. As I said, if you're on my YouTube, past videos on my channel, go through my videos on my channel, see videos that might interest you. There's also playlists there that might interest you to help you move forward with this. So I'm going to go through my questions. Hey, Angel, how are you? I'm playing this as I make cold calls to prospects in a very unmotivated manner. I needed this. Thank you. Oh, you're so welcome, Angel. I'm so glad I could help you. Yes. So thank you so much for sharing. I appreciate when you guys share, because then this helps me to help you to shift out of your energy, because that's the whole reason for my existence, is to really help you guys to shift out of this energy and get back, into your power and to allow yourself to move forward. So if you're feeling unmotivated, okay, this is a very amazing thing that you've just shared with me, and I really do appreciate it, and I hope it helps whoever watches this. If you're feeling unmotivated about making these cold calls or these prospect calls, that's okay. I want you to ask yourself, okay, why do I feel unmotivated? Why exactly do I feel unmotivated? What do I believe is going to happen from making this call? What do I believe having this call is going to result in? Dig into what you believe about negatively, about taking that action step, okay? And then see it for what it really is, which is just a lot of limiting beliefs and fears that you have that are then causing you to think these things and feel this heaviness, which then, is reflected in your action of making the call. So then you show up to the call really unmotivated and stuff. So then what you could do is, okay, what would I need to believe instead for me to have fun doing these prospect calls, right? What would I need to believe instead to enjoy myself as I do these calls? And then dig into that. What beliefs would you need to have instead? And then that's how you can begin shifting the energy, okay? And allow yourself to entertain those new beliefs. Allow yourself to be like, okay, so what would it be like to me if I really did believe these new beliefs, right? So let's say, with the question of what would I need to believe to enjoy having these calls? Well, I would need to believe that people are actually really excited more than ever to make these long-term investments, because they're seeing how it would be paying off right now if they had made these investments before, right? And the reason I'm speaking to this is because Angel has a company which has all to do with solar energy and solar panels and that kind of stuff. So right now, the thought is maybe, okay, people don't want to make this investment because it's not the time, it's not appropriate, and this makes you feel heavy. And so you don't feel inspired and motivated to make the calls. However, what would you need to believe instead to actually have fun, to enjoy making these calls about what you're offering? Well, you would need to believe that people are excited to actually make this investment now, because if they had made this investment prior to this, then they would be having all this extra money, and paying for electricity wouldn't be a concern because it would naturally be accessible for them all the time because of, what they're living, and they could have this freed up time and energy to do other things, right? To focus on other things that are more important instead of worrying about how they're going to be able to turn on their televisions and Wi-Fi and computers and all that stuff. They would actually have like less fear and stress and stuff like that. And they would be excited to be making this investment now because they're seeing that the world is changing. They're seeing that they need to adapt to the modern changes, and they're excited about doing this now. So when you have that clear of what you would need to believe instead, then allow yourself to be like, okay, so what would it look like to me if I really, believed this? If I really believed that people were excited about investing now, they were excited to make certain shifts and modifications now in their lives because they're seeing how this whole situation has affected them, and they're wanting to be prepared for the future that's to come, and they want to get, on board with the times and stuff. How would that feel like to me if that's what I truly believed? How would I live my life from that space? And then really allowing yourself to just use your imagination and feel into that, and feel, think those new thoughts, feel those new emotions, and then take action from that space. And that's how you're going to take more aligned action steps. Okay. So this is what I was asked to share with all of you today. I really hope that this has helped. And I have a special offer for you guys that I really hope helps you, because I was asked to provide this. I'm offering 20-minute mindset consults to those of you who feel pulled to receive them. Okay, so what this mindset consult is going to do is basically, there's no psychic channeling, but I will be helping you understand what exactly you need to address in terms of your mindset that is holding you back from making your impact, okay, with your amazing work. Because what I do is I'm very good at, my brain works like a computer, and I'm just very good at identifying and pinpointing like what the real issue is, because people like going around in all these different circles thinking about what the problem could be and so on, and I can just really identify, no, the problem is you believe this about yourself, or you believe this about the world, or whatever it is, and that's the true issue. And unless you get to that root cause or that root issue, you're going to keep yourself in this hamster wheel. So if this interests you, okay, if you're interested in this mindset consult, I would like to invite you to come and join me by clicking at the link below, and I hope to see you there. So thank you so much for your time. I really hope that this has helped you. I will talk to you guys soon. Take care. And I will be going to my Facebook business page right now to speak on money mindset blocks during coronavirus. That's what I'm talking about. And it really plays off of this video. If you're on YouTube and you want to see my video on money mindset blocks during coronavirus, be sure to click up here to the card to go check that out. Once that video is up, you will be able to access it. So if you enjoyed this video, no matter where you're watching from, please give this video a thumbs up, a like, to let me know that you enjoy this, that you want more of this kind of content. Share with me in the comments below, what was your biggest takeaway from this video? What did you really learn about yourself? How did this video help you? Anything you want to share with me in the comments below, I would really appreciate it, because that's how I know how I can best support you, that this content served you, that you want to see more of it, what kind of content to create for you guys. So I would really love to hear from you in the comments below. If you haven't yet subscribed to my YouTube channel, be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel to see more of these videos. I really hope to see you in the next video. Until then, take care. Bye-bye.